join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Can I get a roll call?
Mr. Cook?
Here.
Mr. D'Andiano?
Here.
Mr. Rogan?
Here.
Mr. Williams?
Here.
What did you do, Charlie? You broke it already.
Yep. Okay. All right. I'll take the order of the bills.
All right. Charlie's going to audit the bills.
All right. Abstract number 11. Dated June 15th, 2023, in the amount of $512,104.43. I make a motion that the town board approve abstract number 11. So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Ms. Smith is absent. Mr. D'Andriano, you're up.
Okay, first on my agenda, I have a request here from our EMS administrator, Bobby Kearns. He's requesting Miss Jennifer Hunt, her status, which is currently part-time, to be changed to full-time. So I can read the rest of the memo, but we have Mr. Kearns here. So Bobby, can you just come up and explain why you're requesting this and any impact it's going to have on?
With some additional responsibilities that Jennifer will be taking on, she would be willing to become a CPR instructor as well as a first aid instructor, which would then allow her to be the instructor for our lifeguards as well as our recreation counselors and any of the staff. She's already taken on the responsibility to become the medical director for the camps for the recreation, as well as additional duties that I need while I'm out, and any time that we're both here, we're also able to take the second ambulance and cover that for additional calls in the district, as well as any other additional responsibilities that are needed. There are a growing number of responsibilities that I'm trying to multitask, but sometimes I'm not able to get them. We are starting to try and take on some responsibilities of outstanding, bills that our billing agency wasn't able to fully resolve. So we're trying to still take that on. With all the additional responsibilities, I recommend that we move her from part-time to full-time, and I think the benefit will outweigh the cost. There is definitely a cost for the rest of this year budget, since we hadn't fully budgeted for the full-time. I'm not sure it's as great this year as it will be for next year, so it will impact my budget for next year. But I'm hoping that the increased services that we're taking on will offset that cost.
And so if she's covering more shifts, then it's, first of all, it's not taking away shifts from per diems. It's filling shifts that are very needed, right?
Especially shifts that are either not covered whatsoever and we have no one, or when we have the second ambulance, if we have a second call and there is nobody and I'm here, we could take that. So she would not be taking the place of any of the staff that we have now. It would just be, if there's nobody to cover the shift, we still have to cover the ambulance.
So if we look at the full impact of the full-time salary, it's really, if she's covering shifts, we wouldn't be paying an EMT for that
Correct.
shift, so that it would be safe. So it's not really the full impact of that salary. It'd be a lot less.
Correct. It could be.
And if you were to if you're both here, the second call comes in and you take that call, now there's revenue from a call we would have had to
Pass on
mutual
aid or
aid,
something
yeah.
else. Absolutely.
So it's a less impact than that full
Yes.
salary figure.
Correct. Yep.
I gotta say, well, first of all, I'd be happy to. So I used to be for probably almost 10 years. I was the medical director for the camp, volunteer. And it is over, especially over the years now, with the health department, there's a lot more to it nowadays. So it'd be great for her taking that over. My EMT actually expired, so I told Matt I didn't mean to put more on the EMS division, but so it'd be good if she would have more time to do that, as well as I did teach the CPR for many years, and it'd be great if the town could cover itself with the CPR classes and training, and then maybe even open it up to the community classes and stuff like we've talked about in the past.
Yep.
It would be great community outreach, and there'd be a little revenue stream to help maybe offset some of those expenses. So I think that would be.
That's definitely all the things we're trying to do to lessen the impact of any impact on the budget. We're trying to get as much out of her as we can. So.
Do we know what the impact on the budget will be, or if we can?
Yeah, you should have it in your folder. For this year, it's $26,635.
Well, I'll chime in by saying I'm in favor of this change. I think it's good that we have a medical director for the recreation department, not limited just to camps, available all year round to do whatever has to be done. And I also think that, commending you and her, that in filling in when needed, because it seems like we're always going through 2 or 3 folks moving on, in some cases to bigger and better things, in other cases they're just moving on. So, and we have that tonight with the resignation of EMT. So I think that this would be a good move. That's where I'm at.
Bob, is there going to be some opportunity for her to work with the town staff on trying to catch up on some of the delinquent accounts?
Yes, that's one of the things we definitely are moving forward. We started moving forward with some of the delinquent accounts for 2020, and our next progress will be 21, 22, 23, and we've identified certain accounts that really need to be dealt with as soon as we can. The good thing about that is by us dealing with them, because they've been dealt with as far as they can with the billing company, any funds that we receive we don't have to share or pay any fees. So all that money that we bring in hopefully will again be another benefit, rather than having to go to an outside agency or some other person to fulfill those duties. So there's definitely enough work to be done, and that's why I'd like to utilize it.
Bobby, I'm fully supportive of your proposal. I have a silly question to ask, lighten the mood a little. Where's this person going to, where will their office be?
So Jen fits in my office right now. She has her chair, and we take one of the small desks and we work from there. God willing, one day we will have a new building, and then the plans will be within that for her own office. But a lot of
That's
times,
kind of why I brought it up. I think it's
a lot of times
important to think
she's
about that.
also offsets when I'm not here. She's here, and vice versa. So it works. I mean.
I think that's important too, to have administrator, supervisor more available so if you're not available, she could be available, and we would have more, I'm not saying supervision, but administrative availability.
It worked out yesterday, honestly, because she was here and I was here, and we had an EMS pole right in front of town hall, and our ambulance was already out on the call, so we were able to take our ambulance and deal with the transport the patient without having to go outside. So
So if you're both working at the same time, do you stage an ambulance here? or-
I happen to be over next to the ambulance,
Oh.
doing something, so I
So you
just
just
grab
grab
the
it.
ambulance in there. If not, you know, one of us will grab the ambulance. You know, it's right next door, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I brought that up in part tongue-in-cheek to just simply remind everyone, not this board so much, but members that might be joining us either here or in the community, the importance of the EMS plans for the building, and that is going to serve a critical role for a variety of reasons, not just the housing of our ambulances and our EMTs, but the administration staff as well, along with the support that you need. You know, we've invested in this service. I think everyone agrees it's completely worthwhile, but we need to continue to support it by moving forward with that.
Yeah,
With
it
that
definitely
plan.
needs, I mean, unfortunately, two of our ambulances have to be stationed outside, which is out in the weather and inclement. We luckily have, you know, the one spot at the firehouse, which we're grateful for right now, but we're hoping eventually we will move forward with our plans with the building, and hopefully we can consolidate and have all of ours under one roof. You know, it's within the complex here, hopefully, and I hope that's the next step. I think we've taken good steps since we started, and I hope that's the progression we're going.
And we also have plans for a training space as well as a community training space. So
Correct.
we could just offer classes out of that
Absolutely.
space for the community, so they can see what their investment
Absolutely.
is, and I think it's good.
Great.
All right. So with all that said, I'd like to make a motion to change Miss Jennifer Hunts's employment status from part-time to full-time at the rate of $33.65 an hour. So moved.
Second, do we need a effective date on that, or is that just effective immediately? Okay.
All in favor?
Aye. That is all I have.
Follow up with this?
What's that? All right, so that was good news. This is bad news. We have a letter of resignation here from Andrew Willock. As of 0600 hours of June the 27th, I hereby resign my position as emergency medical technician with the town of Patterson EMS due to some unforeseen circumstances. So I'd like to make a motion to accept Andrew Willock's resignation. So moved.
Second.
All
Sorry
in
about
favor?
that.
Aye.
Aye. You right?
No, I said, sorry about that.
Oh.
I organized and it was very loud. I apologize.
Charles?
Okay. Next, we have a memo from our planning, town planner relative to, basically you could call it under fee scheduling, where we haven't done this in the past, so this is new, and we're going to set unit cost to set bonds to allow COs to be issued when there's development and all the, let's just call it landscaping work, is not complete. So until it was complete, the person couldn't get a CO. Now with this recommendation from the town planner, we can have in place where they will have a bond for whatever dollars, and there's a scale here that the planning department would use to establish the bond. And this way, the person put up the bond, they could get their CO, and then complete the work over a certain period of time. So, have I got any questions on this one? Or otherwise, I'll make a motion that the town board approve the erosion control bond fee schedule adoption as outlined in our town planner memo of June 19th, 2023. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Sean?
Okay, please bear with me. There are a couple of requests. First is with the ongoing efforts to staff our lifeguards for our beaches. We're looking to hire a few guards. First off, Matt is recommending the hiring of Maura McNerney, who this is her 4th year as a guard, so she comes with a lot of experience, having prior worked for Putnam County Veterans Park. I'd like to make a motion to hire Miss McNerney at a rate of $16.50 per hour, which takes into account her years of experience. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And second, Matt would like to hire Alex Elizabeth Jaga and Sophia Jaga. I apologize if I mispronounced the last name. They are brand new guards. They just got their certification, so the rate would be $13 per hour for both Alex and Sophia. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And Matt wants to especially acknowledge the support that he has recently received with the lifeguarding management program to both Stevie Lynn Delanoy and Erin Brady for being very helpful and supportive as they work through the issues with that program. So a special thank you to both of those young ladies. Great. Next up, we have getting prepared for a busy camp season, and Mr. Chabara would like to hire Naya. Is that North Town Hall, or do you hear that alarm going off?
No.
Am I the only one that hears an alarm going off?
I hear an alarm. Is that a car?
It's a very high pitched.
Is there an emergency or something?
That's what it sounded like.
You hear it now, right?
I hear it now.
Yeah.
Let the record show that my wife thinks I'm deaf, and I heard that.
What?
I don't know if that's going to help you with your wife.
No. It's just, wait a minute.
They call that selective.
Make sure we don't have
Some people hear different pitches better than they do.
Some people drown out.
As you get older, you lose the tone for certain things. My dad will always say, you hear that beeping? I don't hear that. He thinks I'm lying. The coffee pot's done, Dad.
Yeah.
Beep, beep.
There it goes.
Just wait for Rich to get back.
You want to sing or something?
Yeah. Jamie, can you entertain the folks at home?
I do my best. My singing wouldn't entertain you, though.
No? Something's still going on.
Of all the times that we have trains passing by,
Yeah.
nothing. Nothing right now.
Sounds like somebody probably pulled a door or something that was
Yeah.
set. Right?
Yeah, but who pulled that door? Who pulled that door?
Somebody who, yeah.
All good.
All good.
We will now resume
Okay.
regular programming.
Thank you, gentlemen, for keeping us safe. So, Naya Linton and Kaylee Cappuccino for the summer camp program as rec assistants at a rate of $11 per hour. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Next up, we have a request from our rec department relating to the planned event over in Putnam Lake at the Park District for it's at the Putnam Lake, but it's run through the rec department, correct? Correct. Luau. And so this is to authorize the purchase of the food. The low bidder is a World of Food Catering. So I would like to make a motion to approve this request for an amount of $1,644.50. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Next is from the rec department is a request to add one more session for a wheelchair tennis program. The rate is $75 per person, and it includes 5 classes per session. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And last is a request for a refund for someone who started a flag football camp program but only attended one day. So Matt is simply saying that they normally charge $195 for the registration. They keep $39 for the first day plus a $20 administration fee. So they're looking for approval to refund to Daisy Casola $136. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Being as that passed, we need to sign the voucher.
And you could not ask for better timing.
Wow.
This isn't the man that was setting the alarms off, is it?
I don't know.
So the next item, actually, it's perfect timing because Rich Othmer just walked in and request is from him.
Don't sit down.
Yeah,
Don't
you
sit
might
down.
as well stand up. So the town received a letter from a young man named Rich Othmer, who is Vice Commander of American Legion Post 270 in Carmel. And he has asked the town to consider being supportive of a proposal or an idea that was sent to the Putnam County Legislature. Copy of the letter is attached for everyone's review. Rich will be able to speak to it better than I, but essentially, back in the early 2000s, the county acquired a piece of property which was formerly known as Putnam Motor Sales. It sits right next to George's Restaurant on Route 52 in Carmel, by the county building, by the courthouse. And the original plan under the Bondi administration, as I understand it, was to demolish the building and create some green space. This is a unique piece of property. It sits directly in front of the courthouse. It has a view of Lake Oneida. It sits next door to our VFW and our museum, the Veterans Museum. So Rich Othmer is here, and Rich, why don't I put you on the spot? You took the time to come. So if you want to just please tell everyone here a little bit more about what you're asking from us, and more importantly, what the plan or what the vision is for
Okay.
this space.
I served as a legislator a while back, and the last 2 years of Bob Bondi's administration, and the legislature before that had bought the old Putnam Motors. When they built the new courthouse, the intention was to rip that building down and make a green space, you know, with the brand new courthouse behind it, which is a very pretty good-looking building. And yet Memorial Hall next door, it's not just the Carmel VFW. That building was built right after World War I for all the veterans of Putnam County. It's not, people are under the misconception that it's just for, Carmel, and that's not true. So when I was a legislator, I wanted to carry that on, and Bob Bondi left, but the whole makeup of the legislature changed, and they started, actually Bob started to rip the building down in the back. The garage was ripped down, and then they moved the county clerk into that temporarily in 2003, so it was put on hold, and it was basically lost forever. And then recently, the county wanted to sell the building. And, you know, I thought it was long gone at that point. But when they went to sell it, they had a buyer, but there's no parking there. So they were trying to, the people that were wanted to buy the building wanted to get 20 to 30 parking spaces from the county. And if you know, back there now, it's jammed up. There's really no room. So there's, you know, it's not a good building to sell. It's not on the tax rolls right now. It was supposed to be for ceremonies and patriotic events next to the Memorial Hall, which we have plans to renovate that building. That was built in 1920. It was finished in 1920. It's 100 years old. So we're reforming the board of directors for that building right now with the veterans, and we're going to bring in first responders and police officers, also EMS, in that building. And we're going to, once we reform the board of directors, we're going to qualify for a lot of these grants. So if you can envision Memorial Hall, which is a very good solid brick building with a green space next to it, with the courthouse right there on Lake Oneida, it's the county seat. And the idea that it was going to have apartments there, it didn't sit right. And when I heard about it, and I mentioned it at one of the veterans meetings, and no one knew, you know, it was buried. You know, the whole idea was, the concept was buried. And I spoke to the judges. They're in favor of it. I know the county executive's in favor of it, and I thought it would be proper that I sent the same letter to all the town boards in the 6 towns of Putnam County. You know, it's our county seat. It's a beautiful spot. We had the Christmas parade there now. We had actually, I can say it here. I didn't want to say in Brewster, but when Carmel won the state title in football, a lot of the players are from Patterson. So they were, you know, there, and it's you know, you can regurgitate the old Veterans Day parade and everything else. So I just thought it would be great to have support, you know, from the individual towns. And I know I could speak for Supervisor McGlasson from my town, Jackie and Abby from Putt Valley is very much in favor, Mike Kazari from Carmel. And I haven't heard back from Phillipstown yet, but anyway, if you guys could send the support, or girls, or guys and girls, I want to insult that. I'd appreciate it if you feel, you know, do what you feel. But the building is, it was. I mean, when I was growing up, it was a car dealership. And the other thing is the county campus is so small right now that the main county office building is an antique. That's going to have to be, you know, they did a lot of renovations and repairs to it, but sooner or later that's going to have to be fixed. And there's so little land in downtown Carmel to give that away or sell that for, you know, I mean, I think they were getting a price of like $600,000. You can get a house in Lake Carmel for $500,000 now. So that's like peanuts when you look at the big county budget. So, and then the other thing is, you don't know what's underneath the ground there. There is a basement that's full of water because it's lower than the lake level in Lake Oneida. So, and that's it. And I know the veteran, the VFW, and the American Legion were all in favor of it. The local FOP, which serves, you know, all the police officers of Putnam County, and the FDNY, and most of the local volunteer firehouses. When I talk to them, that, you know, when they find out Memorial Hall, we're gonna try to we want to include them in a spot because, you know, the local volunteers go through a lot of stuff too. You know, with accidents and deaths, and, you know, like the poor people over in Sandy Hook and everything else. So we're trying to include everybody with it. I know with the like with the American Legion, we have 50-something members. In Carmel, we get maybe a third of that will attend the meetings, and, you know, those veterans organizations around here are not the way they were when I was growing up. I mean, my dad and everybody was World War II, and they were like big family places. So we want to try to rejuvenate that too. So I don't know if there's any questions or.
If the building is demolished, are there plans what would take its place?
Just a green space. It would be because the whole purpose originally with Bob Bondi was to show off the courthouse. You know, it's the county courthouse, it's the county seat. And if you go to the county courthouse now, you walk out the front door, you're looking at a big cement block wall. You know, and I mean, when I was a kid too, the movie theater was over next to the gas station. That's just a vacant lot now too, and we wanted to incorporate that into the plan. But you would, what we're playing around with is, if you're looking at the Putnam Motors, to the left is George's, all right, and then that building would come down. We would love to flip the road that goes into the courthouse to the George's side, so you would have the green area in front of the courthouse next to Memorial Hall. And I mean, you go to these towns in Connecticut and New England, and they have beautiful town centers and town greens, and you know, it just seems like we always miss the boat in Putnam County. I know when I was a kid, I was raised in Mayapack. The old Thompson House burnt down. That's where Four Brothers Pizza is. And I remember my mother saying they should build a new town hall there, the new Carmel town, and they put an A&P up on the lake. You have all this lakefront property with an A&P, and now it's a pizza parlor. And I mean, I could just imagine if it was the town hall, the police station. You know, I mean, you guys have a beautiful campus here, so and Kent did pretty well with our campus now. But that's all, folks. If there's any questions, but if you like the idea, your support, would send a letter to the legislature, and we'd really appreciate it. And that's it.
Thank you.
Thanks.
No, I think it's a great idea.
Yeah.
Especially since Rich isn't asking us for any money at this point in time. Just
Not yet.
a letter of support. That'll come next. Okay. I would like to make a motion that we send a letter of support for this concept to the Putnam County Legislature based on the information that we received, and not only tonight but in writing from Mr. Othmer, as well as the folks who signed the letter to the legislature from the VFW Post 1374 from Carmel in Kent, the American Legion Post 270, the Fraternal Order of Police, and the New York City Firefighters Hudson Valley East, as well as Putnam Heroes Memorial Chairman Dennis Hanrahan. So moved.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
You got it, Rich.
Thank you.
Thank you for your timing was spot on. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, first on my agenda is the grant applications resolutions. I'd like to table that to the next meeting. Second up is Putnam Lake study. This is, trying to move forward with trying to build a corrective action plan for Putnam Lake. I solicited 2 proposals so that we could get something done this year. The first one came in from Princeton Hydro, and it was more geared towards still looking at the vegetation. Well, we've got dozens of studies on the vegetation, but they did have a sediment sampling component in it. The second one came in from GEI. They are an engineering firm that has a lot of experience in lake dredging and gave us a proposal for almost $15,000 to do the sediment sampling and working on the pre-application with DEC. So I just want to bring this to the board's attention so that you have this information. I've sent it over to the Park Advisory Board for their recommendation, and hopefully we're going to move on this soon.
I believe you sent this to us electronically as well, didn't you?
I believe so.
A week ago?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, and the last thing on my agenda is, as everybody knows, we've been working on extending the Dorset Hollow water system to provide a water system for Front Street. And I've asked Insight just to give us an update on where we are with all the various tasks. We are moving along steadily on trying to get this water system designed. Have had a couple of hiccups that we've got to follow up on, but overall things are looking pretty good to get this done on track.
I have a question.
Sure.
Under task 1, I guess it's bullet 3, where it talks about after field observations of the existing system, it looks like control and booster pump system will need to be replaced. Now, what it says, it has been determined, has been determined it has to be replaced. If you move to task 5 and 7, will that get into detail relative the costs, etc., if that system has to be replaced?
Task 5, we'll touch on it briefly. It's mostly focused, that component of the design is going to be task 7.
7, okay, cool. Thank you.
Anyone else? All right, we did get, under other business, a request in from Ms. Butler, who is the chair of the Veterans Park Advisory Board, for the donation of 2 benches. I would like our building inspector to take a look at it, just to make sure that the construction doesn't present any liabilities for the town before we actually do anything with this.
That's fine.
Sure.
All right, we'll get that. Want to do rabies?
Sure. Just a public service announcement that coming up in just 2 weeks, Saturday, July 15th, from 10 to 12 p.m., Putnam County Health Department will be sponsoring a rabies vaccination clinic, and this will be at Hubbard Lodge, which is down on Route 9 in Cold Spring. If you would like to attend, bring your dog, cat, or ferret for a free rabies vaccination. You would need to bring photo ID as proof of a Putnam County resident and proof of prior rabies vaccination status. These are done 3 times a year. Sometimes they're at the Putnam County Veterans Park, and sometimes we offer them down at Hubbard Lodge. Got it? Thank you.
All right, we have to alter our trash pickup day in observation of the 4th of July for both Garbage District 1 and Garbage District 2. Garbage District 1, which is Putnam Lake, will be picked up Thursday instead of Wednesday, and Garbage District 2 will be picked up on Monday. Any questions, please call or email our sanitation department at 845-878-4341 or refuse@pattersonny.org. Any other business?
Yes, I have one, hot off the presses. There'll be an all-American concert at 6 p.m. Saturday, July 8th at the Patterson Recreation Center. Free admission, featuring the Southern Dutchess Concert Band. Patriotic music, pop music, Broadway music. Sponsored by the Duffel Bag and the town of Patterson. Come one, come all.
Gotta say, this is always a great event.
Oh,
They have a great percussion section.
yes.
My uncle plays the drum.
This is like an 80-piece band.
Yeah.
It's a great show.
They play patriotic songs. And,
Yep, haven't missed one yet?
Yeah, they're great.
yeah.
Yep. Any other business? Public recognition. Anybody from the public here wish to be recognized? Please approach the mic and give your name and address for the record and make your comments.
George Disbrow, Tammany Hall Road, also a trustee with the Patterson Library. And I just wanted to share with the people here in the community just a few events that are coming up. There are those of us in the room who will remember movie double features. There are some of us who will not remember that, or some of you. But we have a couple of movies coming up. They're not back to back, but we do have, let's see, it's called A Good Person on Thursday, the July 13th at 1 in the afternoon. And then on Wednesday, the 26th, at 1 p.m. is The Fablemans. The Fableman is Steven Spielberg's story. A Good Person stars, one of the co-stars is Morgan Freeman. We also have two outdoor events coming up. We have the Mariachi Citali on Wednesday, the 19th at 6 p.m. There is a scheduled rain date, but how much more rain can we really get? And the other outdoor event is, bear with me here, Sankofa African Drummers and Dancers. They were here last year. They had a nice turnout. It's Tuesday, August 22nd at 6 p.m. So I'll probably be mentioning that sometime in July. And the only other thing I wanted to mention is that we're doing a cooperative library event. We're hosting in Patterson, How to Start a Business. You know, simple ways to start up a business. And we're fortunate, it's going to be Tuesday, July 25th at 7 p.m. But we're fortunate, one of the library trustees from Brewster, George Joyner, has agreed to make that presentation. And so hopefully this will be the beginning of other libraries in Putnam and our Putnam County Library Association working together and sharing expertise in different areas. I encourage you to look at the website, and there's also all types of other stuff, and obviously during the summer there's teens, kids, infants events. So please take a look at the website. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, George.
Any other member of the public present here tonight wish to make any comments? Hearing none, we'll turn to our audience joining us by Zoom. If anybody joining us by Zoom, if you would unmute and state your name and address for the record and make your comment or question.
Nothing.
Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.